Desire is a contract we make with ourselves to be unhappy until we get what we want. Welcome back, y'all, to another reflection on the Daily V. Today's reflection is on something that people have written in and asked me to do an episode on, and I'm happy to oblige. You can DM the Daily Vedantic on Instagram anytime, and either I or Nick, my editor, will reply, and it's usually me. He leaves them for me to reply, and I love when people request episodes. The request for today's episode is on discussing the law of karma and what it actually means according to the Vedantic philosophy. So Vedanta sits at the source of nearly all Eastern philosophies. The Vedas are the 4 oldest philosophical textbooks in the world. And at the end of the Vedas, you have the Upanishads, which Vedanta means the end of the Vedas. The Vedas will include all kinds of different things: how to prepare food and how to clean a wound, different rituals, and the crystallized, succinct, often cryptic philosophy that sits at the end, the Upanishads, of each of these 4 Vedas. So another word for Upanishads is just Vedanta. Upanishad means sit close below, by the way. So it's kind of a nod to how this philosophy is meant to be taught. One-to-one. It's not meant to be taught something like a podcast like this. So we're out here breaking rules. It's meant to be taught one-to-one, where the teacher can actually assess where the student is, where they're coming from, meet them where they are, as they say. And that's always the best guidance, instead of high-level platitudes that might lack the significant context for a given situation or decision. So with that in mind, when you do take the beauty and convenience of being able to listen to these, or especially with even e-learning and which the link is down below in the show notes, the lectures from the ashram, it requires the price for that convenience is it requires extra thoughtfulness on the context for you and circumstance you might be in, and how to apply these principles. There's 25, 26 different principles within your life. But within this philosophy, you have the original concept of the law of karma that now makes its way a couple thousand years later. You have Hinduism that gets built on top of the Vedas. You've got Buddhism, which, as the adage goes, Buddhism is Hinduism made for export. As it leaves India, enters China. You've got derivations of Zen in Japan. As it leaves China and enters Japan. But if you take it all the way back to the Vedas, you have this concept of karma, which we conveniently and misinterpretedly think of as, it's just like a cosmic scorecard. It's not a cosmic scorecard. It's not a judge sitting up above watching the scores and the misfortune happen and the good fortune happen for doing good or doing bad. It's so much simpler than that. It's just the law of cause and effect. And it's the law of cause and effect in relationship to the other laws. The word dharma in Sanskrit means so many different things. It's beautiful in that dharma means law, means nature, means truth, means teaching, means all of these things. You could fill 2 pages with just the English translations for dharma. And it's so beautiful that law, nature, truth, that they don't have separate, distinct words for each. They're all the same thing. Gravity and philosophy be seen as dharma. Just laws of the universe. So in this same vein, you have cause and effect. Cause and effect based on your actions. The choices we make, there will be, as my preschool 4-year-old is learning right now. Right now in her preschool class, they're learning about consequences. Well, we could all take a lesson in consequences, because that is ultimately what karma is, the law of karma. This is not karma yoga. Karma yoga, karma just means action. Karma yoga is union through action. And maybe more colloquially, you could define it as service or unselfish action. The law of karma is the law of action. Law of karma is what we think of when we think of that cosmic scorekeeping. But it is, like I said, so much simpler than some cosmic scorekeeper of fortune and misfortune. It's just cause and effect, your action, and what are the consequences of that action. Sri Ramakrishna, a saint within the tradition of Vedanta, he does add a bit of extra color. Good, good, bad, bad. It's so simple. It's like elementary and beautiful of you do something good, you get something good. You do something bad, you get something bad. But it's not because there is this Vedantic lens. It's not because there is some cosmic teacher and judge just trying to give you your time out for doing something bad. You are punished by the sin, not for the sin. You touch a hot stove. You don't need some cosmic judge for you to learn your lesson. The misfortune follows the misguided deed. You steal, well, now you have to deal with the agitation of, well, maybe they're going to find out. Maybe they're going to come for me. Maybe what's going to happen to me socially if people find out that I stole? What's going to happen to me punitively? Am I going to go to jail? Am I going to lose my job? You're punished by the sin. The actual action itself has its own repercussions, independent of any cosmic judge. Touch the hot stove and you get burned. The way that this works with other laws, other defined aspects of our universe. And when you learn them through the principles of Vedanta, you're like, oh God, that one and that one combined, holy shit, that's painful. Law of cause and effect, combined with mental agitation, is simply a result of unfulfilled desire. Or as one of my mentors would say, desire is a contract we make with ourselves to be unhappy until we get what we want. You sign up for a desire, you sign up for unhappiness until you either get it or you rid yourself of that desire. You're basically signing a contract to be unhappy. Anytime that we extend our thought flow towards an object, towards a result, an outcome, a relationship, we start to desire it. The cause and effect is simple. You develop a desire, anything interrupts the fulfillment of that desire, boom. Agitation, mental agitation is the effect. Cause and effect. That is the law of karma. Similarly, you apply the law of cause and effect with the natural law of the universe that happiness can only be found within oneself. It is not out there. You intertwine those two. You stop looking out there. You start to discover and cultivate happiness within oneself. Boom, cause and effect. You look in the right place for the thing that you want, and you discover that it happens to be there. Cause and effect. How this ties into free will and predestination is quite beautiful. It is simple and elegant. And it's all in the phrase, you are a product of your past and a producer of your future. This very moment for yourself, for myself, is predetermined by every action and choice you made. You, nor I, we could not escape it. We are products of our past. The effect is a product of the cause. But we are producers of our future. Anything, and I mean anything, under the profound and infinite umbrella of anything is possible. Anything is possible from the decisions and choices we make right now. even enlightenment, realization. How difficult is realization? Well, this philosophy says it's as difficult as a needle penetrating the petal of a rose. It's nearly no effort at all. And yet, like every other concept, we hear it, it's in one ear, out the other. We go back to our illusions of, no, it's got to be hard. Well, not anything's possible. Only a few different things are possible. Draping ourselves with self-limitation, speaker included. But take it or leave it. Everything I've said and laid forth is just what happens to be in the Vedas. What happens to be in the oldest philosophy in terms of continuous study. Oldest philosophy on the planet. And to the listener with the question, I hope that answered your question on the law of karma and what this philosophy says it actually is. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.